Hey, it is a Monday morning and I am starting my week once again with Q&As. And this one is from Susan Catherine Collier. And she has a great question that's similar to a lot of questions I get. So I'm excited to riff on this one. Cheers, happy Monday, clink. So Susan says, my struggle is real. How do I choose from all of my gifts of creativity to make money from them when they are so different? I write, I act, I art, coaching in person. So I coached 35 years ago, hands-on, reading bodies about spirit issues. Now everyone coaches in the ether zone, Skype, Zoom, whatever it is. My work isn't as brilliant as it is in person. It's mostly spiritual. It has to do with the invisible part of us, etc. And then number two is I act and I write and I illustrate. Not sure how to brand myself because I don't even like the concept. The whole thing makes me ill. But you making you or me more me, I love. So how the F do I make any money from all that? How do I take all my gifts of creativity and make any sense of it? Okay, obviously, I am not going to answer these questions in general or on this little video here, but there's a couple of things I hear and see in this question. One is I definitely see that there is a service-based business, a way for you to be of service with the coaching and with the spiritual work that you do. And I don't see that being in any way in conflict with you as an artist. So you're trying to kind of figure out how the path of the artist and the path of the entrepreneur, which seems like it's also about spiritual leadership and connection, can relate to each other. And I'd like you to see them as a Venn diagram with a big overlap, and that you might have to really focus on the overlapping space for a while to get the business working and to get the business viable, which means a lot of the creative work that you do is going to go into the business. And a lot of the business that you're developing is going to combine with your creative work. And that's a great thing to do for a number of years while you establish financial viability of the whole operation. And that the other pieces that don't overlap will also be fed and will be able to take up more space over time as well. So these can coexist as an ecosystem. So, you get to keep part of your art practice free of the commercial questions, which I think is really important as a place to develop ideas and collaborations that get to have their own sets of criteria and standards. But the thing I really want you to imagine is really getting over that ick factor around branding and marketing. So obviously branding and marketing, it is the art form of a big capitalist system that does all kinds of damage all over the world and is part of colonization and racism and all these things. We resist it. We resist it for really, really good reasons. And when we do that, we are allowing oppressive entities who use branding and marketing to define the narrative of what branding and marketing is. It is the art form that those are the words that we use to describe all different kinds of cultural work and art forms that we use, that we employ, and that we develop to engage in all kinds of interactions and relationships and, yes, commerce with each other. And as such, they're really, really wonderful tools, and all they are is speaking and images and sound and performance and art. Marketing and branding are made of all kinds of art, speaking in voice and visual language and movement, which are all things that you do as an artist. So if you embrace branding and marketing as just another couple of words that describe something that you are already really committed to, which is making meaningful, beautiful culture that is a positive contribution to the world. And if you kind of purge yourself of the ick stuff or recognize it as something that you reject, but that is not a part of what you're doing, I think all this stuff is going to get a lot clearer. There's a lot of stuff in the different art worlds about staying pure and keeping yourself away from commercial interests. And I think there's a good decision that artists make not to be pulled into the kind of all the negative stuff around commerce. But what we end up forgetting is that we get to use the tools of business and we get to participate in economies, as imperfect as they are, to spread our work and to get ourselves out there and get our work out there so the work that we do can make as big an impact as it can in the world. So go ahead and kick that ick factor stuff to the curb. Marketing and branding gets to be what you invent it to be, right? And that you have these skills, that you have these tools as an artist, as a performer, as a writer, these are superpowers in terms of promoting your business and bringing clients in. And you're not just getting clients when you use this stuff, you are reaching hearts and minds. You're spreading ideas that matter. Embrace it. Embrace all the parts of what you do. You get to be in the center of, you know, whatever economic system you put yourself in the center of. You get to build an audience. You get to let all this great work that you're doing have some legs to go out into the world in. You get to collaborate with people. It gets to be good for you. You get to be in the center of things. And I think we artists often see ourselves and experience ourselves on the fringes. And we even defend that, like that gives us a lot of intellectual and creative power to be able to see from the outside. But you don't have to choose between that and also being central in our economic system, making sure that you're well taken care of, making sure that your life is well taken care of, that your art is well resourced. I want that for you. So, you know, as you navigate, what does it mean to build a coaching or service-based business using the internet or in person? How are you going to do that? See all of the tools of marketing, branding, and even digital communication in terms of coaching spaces. See all of these as creative tools for you to play with and go for it. Just be 100% about it. And, you know, work on, you know, quieting those ick factor voices, okay? Thank you so much for the question. You're not the only one who has it. I'm hoping lots of other people find this video who have these kinds of questions because they're ones that I've struggled with a lot myself. It's a big cultural shift to go from being an art worldy kind of art person to the business world and to face all of those judgments and kind of cultural to these industries feelings about our relationship to microeconomies and the larger dominant economic system. It's a great conversation to be having. And generally what I keep coming back to is let's not hold ourselves back anymore. All right, have a wonderful week. See you tomorrow with another Q&A.